I've spent the last 4 years or so analysing the likes of Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi, Luke Belmar, Jordan Welch to see how these hyper successful people have built multi-million dollar businesses that make six, seven, even eight or nine figures per year in annual sales, and how they managed to even do that. So there's going to be no edits in this. This isn't a hyper edited Iman Gadzhi or Andrew Tate or Luke Belmar style video, but I want to go over three things that I believe they have stuck to and made a big part of their lives in order to be able to have the massive success and financial success that they have had in their lives. So without further ado, I'm going to immediately get into it. So again, from over the last 4 years of watching these people closely and becoming a fan of these guys' content and all this stuff and what they've built as financial business empires, one of the first things they all have is a clear intention of what they're trying to build. We can see this with all of them, whether it's Andrew Tate, whether it's Iman Gadzhi, Luke Belmar, Jordan Welch, they all have a purpose. They've all got a clear intention of what they want to be doing now and where they want to be in the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years. They know what they're building. They know what they want to be, and they know what they want to do, and they know what they want to grow. And that is, I believe, what stops 99% of people that are in the self-help space trying to build a business of any kind, start a side hustle, start freelancing. It's what I was struggling with myself. Although I had a passion, which has always been my passion of filmmaking and storytelling, I wasn't really aware of, besides making films, when I entered the self-help space, it made me more clueless than I was before. Because originally I just wanted to tell stories, and filmmaking was the only way I knew how. And now, having entered the self-help space and working on myself, trying to figure out what venture would make the most sense for me besides the just traditional route of going and making films, I wanted to know what would work best. And so that's why, having seen these guys, I now know for a fact that clear intention, having clear defined goals, knowing your why. There's a famous book from Simon Sinek called Start with Why. And that book is detrimental. I recommend anyone go and purchase that book or go listen to a summary of it of some kind, because knowing your why, starting with why, is what is going to. It's a Nietzsche quote. It's when you know the why, the how is possible. You immediately know how to do anything as soon as you know your why, and that's what stops so many people. So clear intentions, defining your purpose, and knowing your why is what gets you started, because once you have a target to aim for, anything is possible. The second one is being able to get hyper focused on these goals, because obviously once you have a purpose, once you have intentions and an idea of what you want to be building, and you're envisioning that, you're visualizing that business, that goal, that future, whatever it might be, you can work towards that. You have a clear defined target. But right now, you obviously don't have that 5, 10, 20, 30, 50-year goal, that lifetime goal. So you have to work towards that in the most clearly defined, realistic way on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. So the first thing we do is we have to focus. A lot of what these guys have done is eliminate things from their lives. They've cut off friends, cut off family, cut off distractions. That's why there's a whole dopamine detox. The monk mode that Iman Gadzhi kind of popularized over the last couple of years is basically just isolating yourself and focusing 100% on your plan, on your vision. And it is often why these kind of entrepreneurial people are shutaways. The kind of people that just sit in their room with their laptop, sit with their Mac, and just work like 6, 12 hours a day, hyper focused on their goals for the day and knocking out highly productive tasks they need to work on. So eliminating things from your day-to-day life, it's why you might have to like cut off different friends and family for a short time to get things going, to get your business started, whatever situation it might be. That is why these people. It's why Iman Gadzhi was basically shut away in his apartment in his room with his mum for 6 months to a year. Then moved to an apartment once he started making like 5, 10K a month, and then he isolated himself basically until he achieved a level of financial stability and freedom where he could then actually live off the fruits of his labor. And now obviously he travels the world, lives in Dubai, Cape Town. Andrew Tate lives all around the world. But again, these people isolated themselves to be able to focus on that first bridge, the first hurdle of getting that financial stability, getting the first few clients, getting the first few customers, whatever it might be. It's focus at the beginning. So purpose and then focus. Now, of course, you'll notice all of these steps will lead they'll trickle down from one another. It's a bit of domino effect, because once you've got your focus, so once you've got your purpose, and once you've clearly defined your why, and obviously now you are eliminating things from your day-to-day life, you are creating focus. And now with focus, the way we get focus in our tasks and with our things is by clearly defining what is the highest return on investment task from the lowest return on investment task. So it's leverage here, basically. So it's understanding the difference between what is, if we have a business idea and we have a skill that we've been learning on YouTube or in a paid community over the past few months or couple of years, or few weeks or however long it's been, the highest leverage task for us is, let's say, getting our first customer, getting our first client. How do we do that? Well, we have these multiple steps. We have the baby steps, and baby steps become big steps, and big steps become adult steps, and so on and so forth. So, for instance, when you're just starting your business, one of the highest return on investment, one of the highest leverage tasks is getting your first customer, getting your first client. So, whatever tasks are necessary for you to actually obtain that first customer, that first sale, is the highest leveraged, most productive task you could possibly do. And this is the trouble most people face in the self-help space, is they're so focused on designing their website, trying to design some landing page, building a funnel, whereas just purely it's in the book $100 million Leads and $100 million Offers by Alex Hormozi. He literally says your first customer or client is probably in your contacts list on your phone or in your Facebook following list or Instagram followers. So start there. It's probably already someone you know that's going to be your first customer or first client, or they will refer or recommend someone that will most likely be your first customer or first client. It was for me the first time I ever sold anything to anybody, as far as I'm aware. Just local marketing, local content creation is what I did as one of my first client pieces of work. It's who you know, it's one of your contacts in the first case, because basically what happens is people know you, and then you tell your friends or your family, I'm starting this new thing. And then they tell their friends and other, distant family. And in the end, it is one of your contacts that will end up being one of the first customers or first clients. So with making tasks every day, focus on the highest leverage task. What task is going to, there's an entrepreneurial quote here, in a book I'm reading from, Patrick Bet-David from Your Next 5 Moves. It's called Moving the Needle Forward. So which tasks can we do move the needle the most? And obviously at the beginning, we're going to be doing a lot of the tasks ourselves, but at least at the beginning of your day, you need to work on the tasks that are most urgent and are going to move the needle forward the most. So if you need to send that email, because that is a very warm client and they're most likely going to sign up for your services, send that email first thing. Do the calls the first thing in the morning so you get it. Well, obviously depending on the times of day of business, but do the most urgent things at the beginning of the day, get the most urgent, highest leverage tasks done immediately. And then part of this productivity with tasks is a very famous point by Jordan Peterson here, which is all about procrastination and focus again, which is making the tasks as small as they need to be so that you will take action on them. I've suffered with this myself. I've suffered on it to this point, but it's why I take into account the 5-minute rule, the 2-minute rule that James Clear from Atomic Habits book, again, highly recommend. Making the task as small as possible so that you actually start the task is the most productive thing you can do. And you cannot be discouraged by making the task as small as you need to make it so that you actually start doing it. So if you need to start cold calling, even if it means picking up your phone and clicking on the dial button, if that is the task, then fine, whatever it takes for you to start the task, because we need the most motivation to start a task at the beginning. So that's why at the beginning we need to do the minimum effort required to get started, get over the first hurdle, so that we get in the task and then we get the motivation to carry on. We get the dopamine hit from doing the task and the reward of finishing the task in a while. And so that is why, with anything we're doing, make it as small as possible so that we actually act on it. So this final third piece, like I've said, about, being productive with these things, with obviously focus in step 2, with this step 3, again, it's a combination of things to do with, refining your focus to the highest leverage tasks. Don't get carried away with unnecessary things like designing a lead magnet if you're talking to a local customer that isn't actually going to be looking at your website in the first place, your highest priority is talking to that customer or that client that is going to most likely buy from you in this next couple of days. Focus on them. They're where the first money is coming from. Once people are coming to your site, once you've got interest, again, work on making your website look fancy, make it look desirable, convenient, remove friction, build a nice funnel. At the beginning, focused on getting people in the door, focused on getting sales. That was my trouble over the past couple of months. I was focused on cold calling, which is fantastic, and I am still doing it. But I wasn't focused on literally calling the few people that are in my contacts and referral-based contacts from that I've met over the past 5-6 years of my life in my local area that are warm leads because they already know me. They will probably be interested in seeing if I can help them in some way, shape, or form. They're warm leads technically because they know me, and I can easily be recommended by somebody most likely in my contacts because I'm just friends or family, whatever. And I wasn't doing that because, again, it was that kind of avoidance of growth basically that I realized, and just that hurdle. So again, focused on those people that are gonna just be your guaranteed first customers. For get them in the door basically. So to refine it all down so I stop rambling, the first one is obviously getting a clear purpose and clearly defining your goals, knowing your why. The second one is focus, eliminating things from your day-to-day life that aren't necessary until you get to a point where you want to with financial stability, when you've got the business going, you've got foundations built. Once you've got systems up and running, then you can start introducing things back into your life. But at the beginning, focus on what is necessary, which comes down to step 3, which is again focusing on the right tasks in the first place. Do not be focused on trying to make the most glorious looking landing page if your first clients are going to be people that don't even look at your website in the first place, because you're going to call up a local business and they're going to try and sign them, and you're going to try to sign them as a client or as a customer. They're not going to look at your website, so stop worrying about it, because the thing is here is we want to focus on the tasks that are easy and we enjoy, not on the tasks that we actually need to do. So focus on those, because I've been learning a lot about that over the past year or so, and I've learned a lot from these guys over the past few years, and I mean, I've exponentially improved the speed at which I'm working efficiently. Like I signed a client in literally days from the same process that took me weeks and weeks and weeks just over, a year ago. So nearly 2 years ago now, actually. So take these into account. I wanted to kind of ramble through this a little bit so that you hopefully take these points on board. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.